What's going on, guys? So this episode is going to talk about two very powerful incantations, notably Split Soul and Darkness. So Darkness, what it does is it gives you a 20% additive chance to dodge incoming attacks. What this means is that your enemies, if they check accuracy, meaning that their accuracy is a number, then Darkness will reduce that number by a flat 20%. So a boss that has 90% accuracy, which Raksh's accuracy is pretty close to 90%, I would guess, Darkness will drop it to around 70. If you combine it with the tank armor, it ends up being closer to like 60, which makes you very, very tanky at a lot of these bosses. Now, to illustrate, we'll show you what a Raksha kill looks like. With no soul split flicking, we're just going to rely on Darkness and Vengeful Ghost for our sustain. We're going to leave soul split on. I'm even going to life transfer in the beginning, so I have a lot of health to catch up on. So we dodge one attack there. Now, one of the big issues about dodge chance is that it is inconsistent. So reducing the accuracy only matters if you actually get dodges, right? So far we've only dodged one attack, but we're still sustaining pretty well, which is nice. So there he just missed naturally. Okay, I signed there, which was bad, so don't do that. Got another dodge there. He just missed there, so that just didn't matter at all. He missed again. So you can see just soul splitting that, like, this is just not really an issue. Which is really cool, I think. So we just dodged two attacks in a row there. We dodged another attack there. Dodged the shadow manifestation. And, like, this is not a good way of doing Raksha. I didn't bring a way to clear pools. But you can see how good our sustain is by just the fact that we have dodge chance at all. Now, there are a couple of bosses that don't check accuracy, meaning that their attacks are guaranteed to hit, period. What this means is that Darkness does nothing against them. So the bosses that this counts for are Ambassador, Raciel, Solak, and the magic attacks from Virago, kind of. Virago's magic attacks have a weird quirk to them where if they would somehow miss, there is a guaranteed second hit that doesn't check accuracy that does about half the damage. So what this means for Virago is that dodge chance will sometimes give you about 50% damage reduction against one of his hits. So if Virago's only maging you, Darkness adds, it's about 5% damage reduction, because if the first hit gets dodged, the second hit will hit you for 800 through your prayers, like 800 to 1,000. And then that has a 20% chance of happening because you should be doing Virago in max gear. So yeah, against Virago, it's about a 5% damage reduction instead of the 20% it is against other bosses. And then it does have a chance of dodging the melee hits, which is really good. But yeah, those are the bosses where it doesn't work or doesn't work well against. So be aware of that. But against bosses where it does work, it is very, very powerful at sustaining you. So now we're going to look at Split Soul. So, well, what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 Raksha kills, not full kills, but just the early phases, where we just use Split Soul in one of them and don't use Split Soul in the other to kind of do a damage comparison. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a setup. I'm going to do my setup. And then this first kill is not going to use Split Soul. This is just the rotation from my Ratio video, not doing anything crazy here. Okay, so after we cast our last skulls and used 1 Finger of Death, it's about 250k damage, which is pretty good. So now we're going to do the same rotation, but, well, not the same exact rotation, but we're going to do a rotation that benefits more from Split Soul, which that just means we're going to use Bloat. And you're going to see that this is going to do a pretty significant amount more damage. So we'll do our setup again. Missed that prayer flag. That's not good. So now we're just going to wait for this skulls to play out, and then we'll see about how much damage it did. So that did 320,000 damage. And we wouldn't have gotten any more damage out of the other rotation if we used the Adrenaline Renewal. So this did 60,000 more damage by adapting our rotation a little bit and then using Split Soul. So these are some things to think about when using Split Soul, but as a rule of thumb, if your sustain is enough without the healing from Split Soul, then it's okay to use. And the places where you want to use it are if you need to race DPS or just if you want to do a lot of burst damage at the beginning of a fight. So there are some places where burst damage at the beginning of the fight is really important. Notably, Karapak is really good to use Split Soul in the beginning. Raksha is a good place to use Split Soul in the beginning. Could also use it at Araciel. That would be a good place to use it. There's quite a few other bosses where you can use Split Soul. I like using it in the last phase at Solak. You can also use it on Core at Solak. Yeah, there's a ton of places where you can use it. But hopefully this shows you the merits of things like Split Soul and how powerful Darkness can be against bosses that hit slowly and not very accurately. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Feel free to like and subscribe if you like the content. And then if you want to support me monetarily, you can become a member. I'll see you guys in the next one.